This professional experience placement took place at a co-ed secondary school in southwestern Sydney. Whilst I had experience teaching and observing in several subject areas, I primarily was situated with Year 9, 10 and 11 drama. Within these classes, I worked with students who ranged in cognitive ability, primarily due to ADHD and ASD. However, I was made aware that these specific students rarely require additional help and modification of classroom activities. The issue that was noted by my mentor took place in my third lesson teaching Year 9 drama. The lesson I had planned was for the students to watch a short film and they were to highlight the dramatic elements used in the film to emphasize the melodrama style. As a class, we went through their findings, and it was here that my mentor said I should try to turn evaluation into action as the students engaged more with the practical side of drama. It was clear at this point I had not achieved the AITSL standard 1.2, understand how students learn. The original teaching plan was set out as a class discussion and evaluation of the film, and this method, according to O'Donnell, is a great way for students to express their ideas on the topic, allowing for peer interaction and responsive communication. Although I did allow enough time for this activity to occur, the level of student engagement rapidly decreased as the discussion went on. Class discussion in conjunction with the flow theory theoretically meant that the students would be engrossed in the task at hand, constantly being challenged with questions by their teacher and their peers. Although some students were engaged deeply in the discussion, there were others, specifically those with learning differences, that did not feel comfortable contributing their ideas in front of the class, possibly out of fear of being ridiculed or judged. I have two worksheets completed by different students. Student A is achieving the top results in the class, while student B is towards the bottom. Based on this alone, it is clear that this activity was not suitable for all students, as during the practical elements of the lesson, student B thrived and displayed a deep understanding of how the different elements were used in the melodrama style. This was just not represented in their written work. If I were to do this activity again with the implementation of the feedback, I would have the students watch a specific moment of the short film, perhaps a 3-minute clip, then allow them to work in smaller groups with mixed cognitive abilities to discuss their findings, allowing students to learn and be challenged by one another whilst engaging in peer formative assessment. In the original lesson, the class created a master table with all of their ideas, with one column being how the dramatic element was used, and the other was the effect it had on the audience. To implement the feedback of evaluation into action, this activity could have taken a practical approach. For example, instead of discussing how pace was used in the film, students may benefit from physicalizing the dramatic technique, implementing McPhee's question of how theory might be applied. For example, students could experiment with a range of different paces and reflect on how tension varies in each version. To further this, students could split off into smaller groups, taking their findings with them to create their own short performance, which they could film and present to the class the following lesson. By doing this, students are not only applying the practical elements of drama, but also get the chance to explore and analyze the work of their peers to further their understanding of drama, the ultimate human art. Through the moderation of this activity, I will also be able to achieve AITSL Standard 4.5, use ICT safely, responsibly, and ethically. According to Bloom's taxonomy, creating is the highest level of learning. Therefore, allowing students the opportunity to get up and do provides a greater benefit than simply engagement and the activity being more fun. By not allowing them to experiment with different ways of performance, I would be limiting them of achieving their maximum creative potential. Students participated in a game of silent space jump, an improvisation exercise they were all familiar with. However, this time they had to tell a story without words, much like the film they watched the previous lesson. By having the students participate in this game as a whole class, I was allowing them to create dramatic art as an ensemble. The students were strongly engaged during this activity, with my mentor saying, I got the absolute best out of students in this game. During this activity, the students were engaging their memory of what they learned in the previous lesson surrounding how dramatic elements can be used in performance. During adolescence, memories are often created through physical experiences, meaning my mentor's feedback of action rather than evaluation directly links to Churchill's memory concept of use it or lose it. By adjusting my teaching style the following lesson and through discussions with my mentor, I was able to achieve AITSL Standard 1.2, understand how students learn. By applying this and future pieces of feedback to my professional practice, I can continue to improve my teaching and keep working towards achieving both teaching and learning outcomes, allowing for a better learning environment for all.